Where's the remote? Found it.
Turn off the lights.
All right.
Did you grab the drinks?
Yeah, I got them.
Okay, I'm making the popcorn.
It's starting. Come on.
All right. Okay, I'm here. Hit the button. Hi, I'm Jill.
And I'm Gianna.
And welcome to the
We Watch It All.
We Walk 'em All. We
Watch
Whack 'em
It
All.
All podcast. Where
Where
we watch it all and give you our opinions.
AKA the opinions no one ever asked for.
Sorry, I am a little thrown off because everybody around me is eating except for me. Some people are eating pasta and some people are eating, what are you guys having down there?
Chicken.
Chicken mousse.
I'm having chicken too.
Oh, okay. Well, everybody's having pretty much a fake variation of chicken.
Yeah.
Because if you think that's real chicken those cats are eating.
No, they are. That's why I pay that kind of money.
Oh.
I mean,
all right.
you can't have a vegan cat. So I tried.
So this episode is gonna be a little free food ASMR mukbang. I don't know how you say it. So we're giving a bonus content out here now on accident.
We still have more, so don't take hers. Oh. Share. Be sharers. Caring sharers. Oh, oops, sorry.
Okay, so we're gonna start with our news. Obviously, Wheel of Watching. The wheel is back up. Thank you, God. And what?
The wheel is back up.
Oh, I thought you were sipping your
good.
cranberry juice, so I was like...
It is good, too.
And she's got, like, a cranberry juice. I just have water. I don't want cranberry juice because we just had some air-fried Oreos, so I'm afraid that the cranberry juice could push me over.
Could.
Oh, it would. So we'll do a little news. We're going to do our obvious, go back and forth. Then we'll get into the wheel. Then our solo watches. Honestly, I feel so unprepared for today's episode. So
That's usually what I say.
I know, but I just am feeling it today. So bear with us. All right. So to start, Michael Bishop is going to replace Jordan Elsass in the Superman and Lois season 3. I think we mentioned that he was leaving the show, the kid.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he's got a replacement. I think that came out maybe a week or two ago, and I had it saved as news, and then I kept forgetting to put it in. So. Oh,
I feel like we won't even notice because, to be honest with you, we haven't watched it in so long.
I did see a picture of this kid. He does really kind of look like the other actor, so they did a pretty good replacement. But I'm still not going to watch that show. Don't even try it. And speaking of this, I'm going to mention this really quickly, and then we can move on from it. But I had thought I completely freed myself from CW after they canceled all the shows I watched. Guess what? I just realized... I finally started Kung Fu. That's on the CW. I'm never gonna truly be gone. But even just episode 1, so far it doesn't really feel too much like a CW show. So, yeah. All right, you can go on with your piece of news once you're back over here. She tried to sneak away.
No, I was just
expose her.
Multitasking.
Yep.
Nobody wants cat food dishes left out.
No. Okay, go ahead. How many pieces of news do you have?
It's 3, and actually one of them you may have already reported on.
No, he was fine. I guess just go.
Oh my God.
I don't know. All of a sudden it came out of nowhere. Just go. Go ahead, read yours.
I'll just do my 3, and then when I'm done, you can just...
No, we'll go back and forth until you run out.
That's what I'm saying. When I'm done, you'll have to just continue.
Go.
More Bridgerton news. They just announced the prequel title. The official title is going to be The Queen Charlotte, a Bridgerton story, and the show is going to center around the Bridgerton monarchy. She is such a great character, the Queen, in Bridgerton. So I would be dying to know what she was like when she was younger. So it's gonna be a very interesting character, and they're gonna have the characters that played her on the Bridgerton show that we've been watching. They're gonna go back and like flip flap. Or flip flap. No, flip flop. My gosh, back and forth from the old to the young. So it'll be interesting. But of course, Shonda Rhimes is signed on as the series showrunner, writer, executive producer. As always, with everything she touches, it's like freaking gold. It's going to be a limited series that they're hoping.
Sounded like it was settling again. Listen to our Real Housewives episode to know. I was so frightened of the ceiling. Now
it's just in the middle. Look at there. It's not there.
Yeah.
And it's not there.
Well, because who is really walking that close to the wall?
True.
Yeah, listen to our Housewives episode if you want to know. Because, if you've listened, we're constantly worried about our coffee table. But that's a problem.
But the ceiling's also an issue.
Well, yeah. Now the ceiling's becoming an issue. And the coffee table is something that we can fix on our own. Yeah. This ceiling,
okay,
we're going to have to get out external sources. All right, sorry.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, I just heard it settling, and I want to give you a warning to be ready to move if we have to.
I would never be ready enough to get out of the way.
I'm grabbing that mic. We don't got money to buy a new one.
Oh my God, we would not probably be here if the ceiling came in on us. So the mic would be
somebody upload this, okay?
Oh my God. Anyway, it's going to be a limited series that they're hoping to expand the Bridgerton universe. And those were their exact words. So everybody's expanding their universes now.
Obviously.
Everybody's got a universe, multiverse, superverse. I don't know. But
yeah.
There you have it. So there's my Bridgerton.
Okay, I'm gonna tie these two pieces together because it's for the same thing. So AMC supposedly is gonna get an exclusive Wakanda Forever popcorn bucket. It looks really nice. Ooh. It almost looks like very like royal.
We do love the popcorn buckets.
We do, but we haven't gone. I think it's Cinemark, or it hasn't been AMC that we've been looking at. They had the Great Thor one. And they had the other one too before Thor. They had the Doctor Strange. We did not buy those because they were so expensive. The only popcorn bucket that I really have that's like a fancy one is I have Harley Quinn's mallet from Birds of Prey, and I'm kind of and we ended up going to get the Wonder Woman one. But I'm saying like something that's like a I guess you could say like a dual use, like it's like a hammer and things.
And she ain't hammering nothing with that bucket. I know. You make it sound like you got yourself a hammer,
like a prop.
Yeah, no, yeah. Well, Thor's thing was like that too, wasn't it? His hammer or something?
Yeah, it was like, but you couldn't take it out of this like stand. But it was really nice though. True. But the Harley one, I am glad that we had because Birds of Prey was the last movie we saw before the pandemic hit. So it's that's like a nice one to have. Like it has a little kind of sad memory tied to it, but whatever. Also about Wakanda Forever, Adidas and Marvel teamed up to make an exclusive line for it. It has jerseys, hoodies, sweatshirts, joggers, shorts, socks, hats, and 2 different pairs of shoes. So you could fully come dressed in like a full outfit and literally be head to toe in a Wakanda Forever outfit. Because literally socks and a hat, like you're literally head to toe.
No underwear.
And I think they've put out something like an exclusive for an Adidas club.
If you just said they were coming out with like Hanes, I was gonna be like, stop it.
Hanes, no.
I said no underwear, and you're like,
oh, underwear.
And
I didn't know.
You quickly came right behind me, like you were gonna say, like, no, yeah.
Well, maybe you could wear the shorts under the joggers and pretend those are underwear if you really wanted to, fully commit to the head to toe outfit. But I don't know what the shorts look like. I've seen the shoes. The shoes are really nice, but yeah. Okay, what's your next piece? Yeah, I'm sorry. You have to take a break from eating.
I'm sorry. So I don't know who really knows her, but I mean, she's a. Lori Loughlin. I'm sure everybody knows her from the college scandal.
Oh, I thought you were gonna. At first I thought you were meaning to say I don't know if anybody knows who Lori Loughlin is. Everybody knows Aunt Becky.
Well, mostly, yeah.
But everybody knows Aunt Becky.
But she's from Fuller House. She recently made an appearance at Bob Saget's tribute event, and this is kind of one of the first big ones. She's kind of come out since 2019, since the college scandal. But she... You
know what? Sorry, not to interrupt you, but she did kind of get lucky with the pandemic that she could say, oh, I'm hiding, quarantining.
Like in a weird way. She only did 2 months of jail.
Well, yeah, because she got out because of the COVID, right? Oh.
No, she was only given 2 months. And then 2 months, a huge fine, and community service, like 100 hours of community service. And I think she did one TV show recently. And now she's going to star in her first TV movie with the GMC channel. The Great American Family Channel.
I've never heard of it.
It's like
a Hallmark, like a
kind of
Hallmark.
It's kind of like a Hallmark channel. I think it's owned by them or vice versa, one of those type things. But the CEO says that he wants to make her the face of the network, and believes that she still is America's sweetheart, and that people will come to watch her. I mean, I will. I think she's a great actress. Aside from what she did, which was stupid, I do think she was.
Why'd you have to do that to Aunt Becky?
Yeah, I think because it just showed you had no faith in your kids either, which is hard on them because now they know mom thought you had to buy me to get into college.
That daughter looks so much like her.
Yeah,
like even with the name Olivia Jade, that you'd be like, even if you saw her and you didn't know that she was related, you'd be like, you really look like that woman who tried to buy her daughter into college, and then you'd be like, oh, you're probably her daughter. Yeah, no, but. That's an interesting case for that guy to try to make her the face of his network. But here's the thing. He's not wrong because people are going to want to see what her next piece of work is.
And it's very wholesome. It's like, that's a wholesome channel kind of. So I think it's like a Christmas thing or something. Oh, no. The movie's going to be about her and her brother own a business, and her brother sells his portion of the business off to a childhood friend who happens to be like her nemesis or something.
Oh,
So she has to like work with
classic Hallmark movie tropes.
Where they have to learn how to get over it.
Next up on my list, Selena Gomez documentary My Mind and Me is officially coming out on Apple TV on November 4th, and she released the first look of it. We haven't seen it, but I did see a little.
She released what?
The first look of it. We haven't got to watch it yet. But I saw like 2 seconds on her account while I was scrolling past. It looks like she cries a lot.
Well.
So we will be
When did she tell us about Justin at all?
Oh my god.
See, that's worth watching.
That is. So we're gonna put our bid in at our family's houses to be like, hey, can we come over on November 4th, a Friday? And we just may sneak into their house.
Mm-hmm.
What are you gonna do about it? Okay, we're family. We can do that. We'd let you come over if you needed a network, but we're the ones that don't have a lot, as many of our family does.
Yeah.
So we'll be over there. You heard that ringing too?
Was that a phone?
I don't know what that was.
Hello?
I don't know. Okay. Okay. Do you want to go on with your last piece of news, or should I double up?
No. Oh my gosh.
Man, why do you have to slam a door? Do you have no courtesy?
No,
Not even
that's not good for your door.
Why are you slamming a door? Like, that's so rude. You live with other people. Look at my beautiful sissy in the sun.
You could see her thoughts about whether or not
she was gonna go sit in my spot again. All right, read your news. We always get so thrown off in the news.
I think you've already touched on this. I think about the Thunderbolts and who's in the cast and stuff.
Yeah, we did on D23. We announced that.
And when they're coming out.
I don't know if we had a release date.
Well, he has a release date of July 26, 2024.
Where'd you get that from? Set your sources here.
Wait a minute. Page
Uh-oh.
6? No.
Page
Entertainment? I don't know. It's one of those. Yeah, it was a legit place. Like,
okay,
no,
okay.
I didn't get it off of like,
Marvel fan 123.
Yeah, no. It wasn't that. I don't do that kind of stuff because I know that you can't trust that. So no, it was a legitimate one.
Yeah,
That,
like Deadline's a really good one too. Variety.
Oh, I've never heard of. Yeah, maybe. No, it wasn't Variety. Last week I got stuff from Variety. But yeah, they stated all the people that were going to, but we already covered that, so I'm not going to go through that. But
You just saw that and you got really excited because you're excited for Elena to come back.
That's pretty much it.
So on October 14th,
That's all I got.
a big day, not just for this movie that I'm going to talk about, but I'm getting a root canal done. So just want to give everybody a heads up. No, because I'm getting a root canal done and we film these on Saturday. So my root canal is on Friday. So
Who knows?
But I've been told already I'm getting drugs, so I should be okay.
Not drugs that are gonna like
Steroids. They should numb the pain at least long enough that I should be able to record this.
No, those are not pain medications.
What are the steroids for?
That's for infections and not steroids, but they're for infections and
Oh
stuff.
God. Well, you know what? I got ibuprofen. I'll be fine. Well, don't worry. Maybe I'll just write down my thoughts and she'll just speak it all out of my mouth. I only say this because he said it's a serious thing. He said I got 4 roots in one tooth. That's not common, apparently. He said it's like...
It is common.
No, he said you get 2 roots typically in a tooth. And he goes, you look like you got 4 roots in that tooth. Why? Why wouldn't I? All right, sorry. On October 14th, Hulu's going to release a movie called Rosalina. Is it Rosalina? Yeah, right? It's Rosalina.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, starring Caitlin Dever. And it's going to be a comedic retelling of Romeo and Juliet from the eyes of Romeo's jilted ex.
You say it like that girl means something.
I've seen her in the movie Booksmart. A lot of people don't know of her. You probably don't, but...
Booksmart? What the hell's that?
Have you ever seen the movie Booksmart?
No.
I watched it one day randomly.
Care to elaborate?
Well, it doesn't have to do anything with that. Like, it doesn't have to do
okay.
with this movie. I'm just saying
You can elaborate later.
It's just a popular movie. You know whose daughter's in that? Carrie Fisher's daughter.
Okay.
All right. A little Marvel news. Jeff Kaplan and Ian Springer are going to be writing the script for the Fantastic Four movie. Still no cast there. Director, writer.
I'm sorry. I'm making a little bit of glass.
Oh.
I believe they have a cast.
Probably. Keeping it super under wraps. That's... Why, like, I don't know. I feel like the writers would probably also, I don't know, maybe write better if they had a vision of who they were writing about. Like, do you know what I mean?
Well, sadly, I think they probably do write that way, because I know that's how I think when I write. Like, I picture somebody, even if I'm obviously not making a movie, but when I do write, like, about a character, I do picture somebody in my head, and so therefore, yeah.
Now, DC News, Titans Season 4 has officially wrapped filming, and also, Breck Bassinger. I don't know if I said her first name right. She plays Stargirl on the CW. The actress who plays her has possibly kind of confirmed. It's a little bit rumored that Stargirl and Titans may do a crossover when she posted a photo of her and Ryan Potter, who plays Beast Boy, in their costume and saying, "Oh, what a coincidence that we're hanging out at 3 a.m. in our costumes."
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which I know last season there was a rumor saying that Batwoman was going to cross over, but it was just because Batwoman was using the same sound stage that Titans were using at that time. And everybody was rumoring, and I was like, oh, that would be so exciting. But obviously it didn't happen. It's never going to happen. She's canceled, but that's so sad. Next, James Earl Jones, who voices Darth Vader.
Yeah, but couldn't they still bring her onto their show if they wanted?
Oh, yeah, they could.
Yeah, so it could still happen. Probably not,
but no, probably not. James Earl Jones, who voices Darth Vader, has officially retired from doing voice roles, but he has given up the right to Lucasfilms to use his voice in the AI creator that they use to make his
That's exciting.
his voice for Darth Vader in Kenobi. They had like a AI re-speecher, and they were able to just have him. So she wants to turn the water on the sink. Hold on. Okay, she's back from putting her dish in the sink. She kind
Fully
of
committed.
You kind of threw me off what I was going to say, but I think my main
James Earl
purpose of
Jones.
what I was going to say was, no, it's... Excuse you.
I'm sorry. That was so bad.
It didn't even sound like... It sounded just like air puffed out of you. Not like a burp way, but like
It was.
air just came out of you. Okay. So it wasn't a burp, everybody, in case you were wondering.
Oh, no, it was.
Oh, okay, never mind.
But it did sound like air just puffed out of me.
I am glad that he gave them the right to do this, because I mentioned this in our Rogue One episode. I don't condone the use of like doing a deep fake or anything like that of somebody who's no longer with us. Like, I wouldn't want them to do something with Princess Leia and Carrie Fisher, because she can't really give her consent for that, but this guy has given the consent to them to do this.
Yeah, but
You know
I
what I
think, like, they would ask her daughter.
Yeah, I know, but I'm just saying her herself can't give it. But I do think, though, if they did ask Carrie Fisher, I think she probably would have said,
Yeah,
"Oh
she
yes,
would've.
keep
She was
going."
very committed to the franchise.
But no, I'm glad that he did this. You know, something he gave the rights up to, which is so weird. But I'm sure he probably made sure in that contract he's like, you can only use this to make me say things in Darth Vader. Like, don't try to take my voice and make me say other things.
I'm sure not.
Yeah, I'm sure the contract is like so particular.
Yes, because his voice is very...
Mufasa, he also did, so like
Yes. He's done multiple things.
John Cena has set the world record for Make-A-Wish wishes granted. He's made over 650 wishes.
For kids like
Yes,
me?
for the
Wow,
Make-A-Wish.
nice.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
Very impressive. And I think they also said that like he's so high up that most likely nobody's going to be able to touch him.
I think a lot of little boys probably
Well,
like
wrestling,
him for the wrestling.
and now he's in
Yeah.
this, and he's in the superhero movie. So
Yeah.
he's like he does do a lot of things. We said we'll never watch Ted Lasso, but some of the Ted Lasso characters are going to be coming in the new FIFA 23 game.
What? Oh, well, yeah, maybe.
So that's kind of interesting, though. Like, I just figured we should report on that because TV. Now, Lisa Rinna. I don't know how I feel about this. She is looking to become the highest paid housewife ever. She wants $2 million for
get this
season
from?
13. This would make her the highest paying housewives because the Atlanta housewives are just under $2 million, I heard this online, that this is a rumor that's going around. Lisa Rinna's people don't care to comment right now. But I'm going to be honest, I don't think Lisa Rinna deserves to be the highest paid housewife. I really don't. Yes, she does. I mean, she does do all the pot stirring, but $2 million? I don't know. I don't know.
She's had some good seasons of pot starring.
No, yeah, but I don't know. Let me say
But
this. If
here's
she
my
gets
thing.
to $2 million, she better show up.
Well, no, that's what I'm saying. You're setting yourself up for potential failure, though, because if you put yourself up for $2 million and you say, okay, great, and they say, go ahead, you need to be on your
You
game.
need to be $2 million
Like, you better be committed to those Real Housewives, because the next season they're going to be like, see ya.
Yeah.
Never again.
And she's not even an original, so that's, it's quite big of her. But, she could be going that high.
But she's so connected to
low.
it now that it's like, forget it.
No, I know, but she may be going up high so that, they bring her down to the price she wants. And I don't know how true that is, but I just figured I'd throw that in there because,
I could see it, though.
yeah. Well, the way I think she was acting in the last episode, our episode went up on Saturday for Housewives, so go listen. I could see her thinking.
Well, I read something. I didn't feel like it was enough to put in the news, but I read something about Kathy Hilton was saying that this whole fight that's going on with her and Lisa Rinna is just Lisa Rinna's way of trying to like keep her job. She's using her to be relevant.
I could see that.
Because she put herself out there. But see, it's a tough one because, like, yes, could I see this whole thing being blown out of proportions that Lisa Rinna looks like she's stirring something up and making something crazy?
Yeah.
I could see that. But
But
could I also
acted
see
up?
Kathy going crazy? Also. So it's like a tough
I think
call.
it might be a mix of both. I think Kathy might have acted out, and I think Rinna's just
Ran with it.
driving it up more than it probably is.
Yeah.
All right, so this is some Netflix news because they apparently had like a showcase or something. The Crown season 5, November 5th.
Yeah, remember I told you about that? They said they were having their like a little announcement.
But I just picked the shows that we watch just to talk about. Outer Banks season 3, 2023.
I'll be
no
watching
date
that
yet.
one. Did you ever watch it?
No.
God, I'll be covering that, folks.
I'll give her a place. You can have Dean come and do it with you.
I'll watch it. And The Crown. The Crown is supposed to be. They just filmed the Princess Diana scenes.
I think that
They just said that.
There were some pictures and trailers that came out with all this stuff too, so you'll have to go and look. Dead to Me's final season will be out November 17th. I binged that just at the right time. They released a new trailer. I watched it. Maybe 20 seconds was actually new footage, and all of that was just them in the hospital post the car crash. I covered these in other episodes 1 and 2, so I'll obviously cover this one too because I'm gonna just finish it out. And then I don't think this is the J-Lo movie that we talked about that she was gonna be in with. I can't remember who, but she has a movie coming out on Netflix called The Mother, and it's gonna be in May 2023. To me, it seems like the female version of like Taken, because it looked like she was like trying to hunt for a daughter. I don't really know. There was just a lot of clips of her running quick, got guns in her hands and things like that. I don't know. You'll probably watch it.
You know what I'm excited for?
What?
I don't remember the name. I think it was something in Paradise. George Clooney and
yes, with Julia Roberts.
Julia Roberts are back in a movie together. They are so good together in movies. It's like a comedy type thing about exes or exes in paradise maybe or something like that. Oh, look! It looks like a beach ball. You know how I'm triggered by the beach balls of
She's talking about the whale of watching.
The whale of watching looks like a beach ball. It's usually pastel
I've heard
colors.
from everybody that they feel like the early 2000s, like fun comedy rom-coms are really making a comeback.
They are, because they were great. They were mindless. They
were
just
need
fun.
To think.
No, they were just fun.
Something fun. And
they were fun.
They're
Those
all
are the
doing
ones.
really well.
Yeah.
So I think people are going to keep making them, hopefully. Because sometimes you just want a simple movie.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. We watched that, what was that movie? Senior Night with, oh God, what's her name?
Wilson? No.
Rebel Wilson, yes.
Rebel
right.
Wilson. Yeah, that was a cute one too. That was just
we watched that. Like, it was just like a really good, like, it was supposed to be kind of like that because it's like, takes place in the early 2000s and then she goes into a coma.
Yeah.
Watch it. It was funny. All right. Wheel of Watching time. Ready?
Yes.
All right. Favorite Disney movie. So this is anything, Disney. It could be a princess. Could be like anything. Just giving an example. A movie you're most excited for to come out. Best rebooted movie. An actor who played that character a little too well. Like, like maybe they're doing the same exact thing in their personal life. Like,
Oh, well.
Like, somebody.
Yeah, okay.
Like a killer.
Killer.
Favorite housewife. We have to. Some of these we had to redouble up on because we went through the list. I think already.
Yeah, but if they weren't chosen.
Well, they weren't chosen.
Matter.
I'm saying they're all back on the wheel for a second
She's got
time.
this thing about back on the wheel.
They should have been Endgame. A couple that you wanted to be together when the show ended, but they weren't together. A favorite Netflix original. I think this is just a TV show. A show that was unfairly canceled in your opinion. Favorite Star Wars TV show, and a show that you've laughed at the most. Let's spin the wheel. Let's see if it'll make the spinning sound.
It's the wheel of watching.
It's not even spinning.
It spin, but it did like one little.
A show you thought was unfairly canceled. Do you have an answer for this?
Oh, gee.
I know, I do.
I think I do. Where would that be in relation to?
That would be TV shows. Don't worry, I have 3.
Nope, you can only name one.
Oh. Ooh, what will I pick? Well, you know what? I'm gonna name the 3, but I'm gonna go into one. All right, I'm gonna just name the 3, but I'm only gonna go into one. Winona Earp, Good Girls, The Wilds. I could go into elaborate on all of these. I'm going to pick Winona Earp, though. Because, so Winona Earp got canceled. Well, okay, no. The season got renewed before the, I think, third season premiered. So season 4 got picked up. And then after season 3 aired, canceled. And then the fans rallied together and they fought. And they got the show back. And then the show got canceled again. And then they're still, listen, to this day, I still see Earpers rallying around, fighting to get Winona to come back. Fight for Winona. And it's, you know what, it is...
You gotta be kidding me, really.
It is impressive, the patience, I guess you could say patience, that they have for these. I mean, listen, Good Girls is a simple one, though. Good Girls, they deserve to end that story because it was so good. And Wilds, ooh, I can't even get into that one either because I'll lose my mind. All right, you can go. What are you doing? You were not ready? Okay, I can get into the Wilds then.
No, go ahead.
No, okay, so the whole show, if you've never watched a show, girls get sent to an island and they find out it's a whole experiment about female empowerment, kind of. It's like the whole thing. This woman wants to prove that females are better off, they don't need men, pretty much. It's like the whole basis of the show, right? And then season 2, they have the same experiment going on with men. They involved men into a show that was supposed to be about how great and women could do things on their own. And nobody watched the show now. I did watch it, but I was so bored doing all the guy scenes because they were just boring. They just fought and they yelled at each other and weren't interesting. And then it took time away from the girls' whole plot line. And now guess what? The show's canceled. And now we'll never know what happens. So it upsets me to my core. And there's so many other shows too that I've watched that have been unfairly canceled, in my opinion. And I don't know why this happens to me, but it does. Because I just thought of another one, Utopia Falls. That show was so good, but nobody watched that show, so I think that's probably...
Yeah, I know.
You should still watch. I recommend watching that show. It's very interesting. Okay, are you ready or no?
Yeah. Well, you know, if you're gonna go there with your shows, then of course I'll always say 90210 Beverly Hills.
Were they canceled out of nowhere? Like, did they get a closing season? Because my shows didn't get to wrap up on their shows.
So.
I mean, Winona Earp kind of did because they kind of prepared, but they could go on for another season. Was the purpose? I brought Winona up though because of how hard the fans fought for that show. In my opinion, you didn't see that. She just tuned in, and that was it. She wasn't on the ground fighting for the show. She just sat there and watched. And we watched together, so it only counted for one view. Ugh.
No, 90210 was canceled after 5 seasons. It said it was doing very poorly in the ratings.
Well, it's a CW show?
It was a CW show,
that
yeah.
just makes sense, doesn't it?
But I don't think it started out as a CW show, to be honest with you.
Oh.
But it ended up as a CW show. But yeah, it said it was doing poorly in the ratings. I don't know why you people weren't out there supporting that when I was younger. But anyway.
I wasn't born yet,
my
so.
original choice was Younger because I love that show. I thought that was...
yeah, I remember you was talking
I feel
about that
like...
show.
I liked the show because I felt like I related to it, to be honest with you. Not, that she was somebody...
You keep talking. I have to go get a tissue.
Okay. She was somebody that tried to get back into the workforce, and because, everybody was focused on the younger generation and coming in and all their fresh ideas and blah, 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 they didn't really care to entertain her. And when she came in and pretended to be somebody young, it just, they bought a hook, line, and sinker and just proved the fact that, because she acted like she was somebody younger.
That wasn't Hilary Duff's character, right? That was the other girl.
That was the other girl. Hilary Duff is the younger one that, they kind of compared her to.
I'm going to fall off my seat.
So, Younger had the 7th season was kind of, when they started, it was unofficially planning it as the finale season. And it was because season 6 I got tapped to look at the mic. Season 6 didn't do as well in the ratings. And then when season 7 came along, it was the pandemic. So that didn't help. That put off filming and all that kind of stuff. And when it wrapped, they were saying something about potentially having a spinoff for Hilary Duff.
Yeah, and I'm looking right here that I got canceled.
The spinoff, right?
Yeah, because she went to do How I Met Your Mother.
Yeah, so I'm just flipping through things I shouldn't be. I don't know what I'm doing. But I just felt like that show was really good, and I do feel they kind of were at a standstill of where to go with it. It was one of those where it was like,
Well, I thought that show was only 4 seasons long. So 7 seasons, yeah, no, they probably should have been wrapping it up.
I don't know where they could have went with it, to be honest with you, because they made it the new book. Oh my gosh, I can't think of what they call that. Oh my gosh. Well, it's not a subsidiary, but it's like another
sister company?
It's kind of like that, but it's more for like the younger. I can't think of the name of it right now, but there's a like when you have the big like book publishing companies, they have like little houses that are in the big companies.
Yeah.
And they did that already. They touched on that. They had her leave her job, come back, get with the guy, not get with the guy. It was like they really touched on everything. There was nothing left to touch on. So it was kind of like, but they did end it nice. I think they kind of ended it like where they could have came back with it if somebody decided to pick it up, or it could have been just like how we were saying with Cobra Kai, like if nothing ever happens with it after this.
Yeah, that's how
they did end it like
satisfactory. They felt like
it was like satisfactory enough that you could like be like, okay, I'm good. But if you wanted to come back, there were still places you could, I guess, go. But
yeah. Well, did you know when I was looking it up to try to see about this, there's also international adaptations of that show. So if you really miss it, yes, they made a South Korean version and a Chinese version of it. So there you go. If you really are missing your show,
but is it going to be in English?
No, it's not in English.
So then what am I supposed
I don't even
to
know
do
how you'll
with that,
watch it. I don't know. I was just saying. All right. Who wants to go first on our shows? Oh, wait, we should say what we watched first.
Yeah.
What shows did you watch?
I watched Southern Charm, came back, gave it a chance. Turned out better than I...
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, so I have season 13 and 14... No,
Whoa.
episode 13 and 14.
She time traveled, guys.
I did finish everything I know about love. Really nothing to tell there. Well, because it was like 12 minutes of it, and it just was her going back home and realizing she needs to just start again. Anyway... and I watched House of Ho, King of the Hoes, and the end is nigh. Those were my big guys that I watched, aside from obviously my Below Deck, my Days of Our Lives. I did not even get there to Dollface, so don't even come for me. Dancing with the Stars, I will get to, I just couldn't add it in.
Well, you were going to try to start this morning,
I just was not going to do it. I don't want to rush. Yeah, I don't want to rush it. I want to be able to watch it and really like check it out. So I'm going to do that.
You'll double up.
Yeah, I'll do 2 next week. And then Girlfriend in Paris. I'm not going to lie. I started watching it.
Yeah.
And it wasn't what exactly I thought it was, but I think I'll like it. But I just was like, I wasn't in the right mind frame. I thought it was a little bit more like Housewives, like where they were like French girlfriends that were going to get together and do their lives. But it's not. It's about one girl that I think is French. And she has 5 American girls that have come over. And I think they're friends of hers, and I think she's trying to show them the
Frenchize them,
like kind of the French way of life, and it's about like relationship stuff, like and getting them a French man. So I don't know if I gotta give it a minute. I wasn't ready for that one, so yeah. So that's where I'm at.
Okay, well I watched obviously episode 1 of Abbott Elementary. I'm so excited, it's back. It was so good. I can't. And I watched Kung Fu. I only watched episode 1 because this week I really dove into Harley Quinn, which we'll get into in a minute. But I only watched episode 1 of Kung Fu.
You have a Harley Quinn glass.
And I have 19 minutes still left of the Kung Fu because I'm so used to all the shows I've been watching, like Abbott and Harley Quinn, are all 20 minutes, that I forgot that CW shows are like 40 minutes. So I forgot that it was double the time. So I thought I was going to be able to like finish it, but
Shame on you.
turns out no. So I didn't finish the last 19
That
minutes.
mouse is gonna fall down. No,
No, it's fine. But I have the
Your toe's gonna
general
hit it.
premise of the show, so it's fine. Except for the last 19 minutes. And then I covered all of season 2 of Harley Quinn. Now I did watch 2 and 3 and read the comic tie-ins, but I'm only gonna do 2 now just because a lot happens in 2. You'll see once I explain it. So I just didn't want to throw 3 in there. So next week I'm going to do 3 and then the comics that go in between 2 and 3 because I don't want to talk about the comics because they really are meant more for like season 3. And there's still one more comic that comes after season 3 that I have to read. So it's a whole big thing. But I'm going to get all into that. And that's all I watched. Because my High School Musical is gone. So it's really sad. But
she's very sad.
I really am, but there's, oh my god, wait, how did we not mention this in the news?
But the pictures, I thought you were mentioning it, but the pictures came out of...
Corbin
Corbin,
Monique,
and Kelsey. Well, not Kelsey. That's
I
not
don't
her
know
real
what her
name.
name
I don't know what her name is, but
I'm so
Kelsey, the
sorry.
piano player, writer.
No,
Music
not
writer.
her. Like to pop and lock. She's there, not Kelsey, the
Oh.
piano girl. And Ryan's back.
Isn't her name Kelsey though in real life?
I don't know. Casey?
Maybe
I
Casey.
think it's Casey. But
Yeah.
those 4 are confirmed back as far as now. But I still think I'm holding out hope. Okay, this is like only
Well,
the
she
first
did do
day.
her hair blonde. She sent
Yeah,
out
I
that
put
thing
it
on
on her
Instagram
story.
that she just did her hair blonde.
Why would her hair be blonde?
So hopefully,
I don't think anybody just dyes their hair blonde for fun when you're Ashley Tisdale. Okay.
no,
Okay.
she's a mother. She's got other things to be doing.
Okay, who wants to go first? I only have 3 things. So how many do you have? 4?
No, I have 3.
What? I thought you had 4.
No, I have
Southern Charm.
Southern Charm, House of Ho, and
Oh! I thought you.
and
I
it's
forgot
not.
about. I forgot you said that everything I know about love was just nothing.
yeah,
we're
no,
talking about.
there's nothing there.
Okay, so who wants to go first?
I'll start with my Southern Charm. Well, how big are your things?
This is Abbott. That's Kung Fu, and this is all Harley Quinn. Harley Quinn's a lot, but I'm gonna just.
My
probably
last 2
skip.
are a lot too. So I'll do Southern Charm, then you can do Abbott because that's small, and then
Yeah.
you'll go. Yeah.
Yeah.
So Southern Charm, I gave it a chance again on episode 13, where all the guys were acting like chauvinistic pigs, and I was like,
And then she took it out on every other show that we watched after, saying, "Oh, here comes another Southern Charm."
another girl acting stupid. Well, anyway, they pulled it together. I got to give them credit. They did pull it together. They Oh no, I just got rid of my notes. Hold on. Sorry. Oh, we're back. Okay. So they were supposed to go away, like I was saying, Shep, the main character, was going to take his girlfriend away to try to make up for being such a chauvinistic pig. He took her.
Is this what they called him on the thing?
His name is Shep. Yeah,
No,
Shepherd.
not that.
Oh, chauvinistic pig.
Yeah,
No,
but
that's
the girl's
my-
calling him that, or you just came
No,
up with
that's
that?
just me.
Oh. The way you kept repeating it felt like maybe the rest of the group was calling him that.
Just me. But
Alright.
it like kind of that whole part dies down in this episode a little bit, and they seem to be okay and whatever, and everybody's like acting good except for Craig, who is another main character that's been there for years. Him and his ex-girl Naomi, who has come back to the show this season. I love Naomi. He has a problem with her. I don't understand. He
has a problem with his own girlfriend?
No, this is his ex-girlfriend, but she's still in the friend group because she's friends with everybody, and it's tricky because he's just triggered by her, and he has another girlfriend and everything, and they're all okay with whatever, but he just, like, her, you know when the presence of them just irks you so bad that you, like, just start wiling out? Well, he does this. He does this through the whole thing. He gets so drunk, and he keeps focusing on her and starting fights with her, and it's, like, annoying to everybody else, and it's even annoying to the viewers because it's enough already. And he's just trying to make her look like she's obsessed with him. And it kind of ends there with him having a fight, and then it picks up in episode 14 where it continues with him picking on her and having a fight. And he's so incredibly drunk. Like, that's what these guys are too old for this now. Like, that's why it's just not cute anymore. Like, even like some of the housewives where they're just a little too old to be that freaking drunk.
Yeah.
That it's not cute. It's not funny. It's whatever. And he gets so drunk that he's like taking his one friend Austin like down to the ground and play fighting. Like, it was just like absolutely ridiculous. He was so drunk they weren't sure that he even went to the right room. I mean, I don't know. And instead now it turns
Sonia.
Well, it turns out the last episode, this one guy Austin, who's friends with the guy that was acting a fool trying to take control of the girlfriend, Shep, he I guess tried to approach, that's why I gave them another chance, because when I watched it he tried to approach this girl Taylor and talk to her and say, listen, you deserve better than him. You should not put up with his stuff and how nasty he is or how disrespectful he is or whatever. This guy Chef has money and he wants her to like quit her job, and it's just a way for him to be controlling. So at least like he did try to like help her out, I guess, and like make her see the light. So that starts them into another fight, and then it just looks like Craig goes crazy again next week. This reunion should be great because they're just all over the place.
They already filmed it or no?
It's got to be coming up. They only have one episode left. I think it's one episode left. They just look like they're absolutely crazy next episode. And
well, don't they usually take a break between the finale and the reunion?
A little
it's
one.
not like it's like a week
they
or
take
two.
Like a little one, but this is just, I don't know. It looks like Craig goes crazy again, and I don't know. It's awesome because they're just so bizarre. But
Alrighty.
hit us with your Abbott. I mean, you gotta to understand it. You really gotta give it a watch because it's like one of those things. You just gotta give it a watch.
Speaking of that, so for Abbott, obviously this is the second season. I'm not giving the backstory on the characters, so you just have to watch, okay? So I'm not really getting into detail, but I'm gonna give a basic.
You know what you should have done though? like what you could have done if you wanted to, like just gave the synopsis, but then touched on one character every week, so that you weren't running over everybody.
I'm just giving a little bit of everything because see, I would have done that if I had like favorite characters, but all the characters are so good that it's
that's what I'm saying. Like you could have just like
hit
upon one character each week for a different,
But this is the first week back since summer. But this is the first week back for like teachers, like when they go like a week ahead to like prep.
Yeah,
I
know that.
Well,
week.
yeah, you know that
sucks.
So we find out that Janine, who's the main character, who's played by Quinn Brunson, who is the writer, she won the Emmy. She has officially broken up with her boyfriend, and her plan is to make this year like perfect. And then Gregory, this is his first year as a teacher. Last year he wanted to be the principal, but he lost to Ava, who's now like the principal. So they signed him on to be a teacher. Sorry, somebody playing music outside? That's very rude. So this is... No, they're rubbing up their car.
I just woke up the cats.
Oh, God.
It's like we're like mothers of babies over there. Like, don't make the noise.
They're going back to sleep. Okay. So
he gave a heavy sigh and went back to sleep.
He's struggling with his first year as a teacher, and he requests Barbara. Sure. Oh, God.
Where are you?
I'm sorry. No, I'm good. It's her, but I have cat hair on my stuck on my lip.
I thought you were
trying to Ralph. No,
I thought you were trying to pronounce a name again. I was
name, but
like,
I felt like the cat hair fall onto my lip.
Oh, okay.
Her character, who's kind of like, you could say like the mother of the group, like her, and I'd say, what's her name? Melissa. Like they're kind of like the mothers of all these like guys because they're younger, the rest of them. So she tries to help him cope with not being able to do everything that the board expects of these teachers to fit into a year. So, like, for her, she's trying to get I can't remember what she called it, like a special desk for like a student that she's gonna have in a wheelchair, because she had already got the board to give her a ramp for the student to get into the school. So she wanted to get this teacher. So Gregory ends up going down into the basement and surprising her with like one of the old desks that they had for somebody who needs it in a wheelchair, like kind of as his way to like repay her for helping him like work through that. Yeah, no, he's not going to be able to do everything that the board wants him to do truly for like the school year. And then Janine's perfect year pretty much instantly starts to crumble because Jacob, who's another teacher there, he finds out that she's behind on rent and her car is getting a boot put on it because she has unpaid parking tickets. It's technically from her boyfriend, but since it's her car, she still gets the boot.
Doesn't matter yet.
And she had also planned for the Flyers, the hockey team in Philadelphia, the mascot Gritty, to show up on the first day of school for the students, but he shows up for the first day of school for the teachers. And then obviously she's assuming that now he can't probably come for the actual first day of school, so she messed that up. And
I gotta stop you for a second.
What?
This is a comedy, no?
Yes.
Does it really sound like it?
They're really struggling this episode. But no, it's just like the little stuff. They're really struggling, yeah. But I mean,
I'm sure they find the humor in it.
No,
but
yeah. There was multiple parts I had to
like...
rewind and rewatch because sometimes they're just so funny. But Jacob ends up giving Janine the money to cover for her like student loan. For her rent, and it's the money that he set aside for his student loans because he knows that Joe Biden's going to cancel his debt any day now.
I believe in it too, Joe. Go.
Well, I mean, he canceled it like 20.
Not the way that he thinks, though.
Yeah,
dude, it's only going to be like 20,000.
And then this is kind of like Ava and Melissa weren't like super big in this episode, but just so you know what they were doing. Ava was running a tailgate in the parking lot for the Eagles.
Of the school?
Yeah, that's the principal. And then Melissa is going to, I think this is like the setup for her season, she's going to have an extra 10 students in her class because there wasn't enough students for like another third grade class, so they're just going to give her like one giant class.
Oh.
My overall thoughts...
Get her an aide.
They asked her if she wanted aid. She said no. She said she's gonna do it all on her own. But she's kind of like that. She's kind of like very tough and like, you know.
Most teachers don't want aides.
My overall opinions picked right back up where I left off. So good, so funny, and I think Shirley Ralph instantly, once again, shined in this episode, solidifying, in my opinion, why she got that Emmy. And I definitely think she'll win another Emmy next year. I think.
Good for her.
I think, like, she was just, I'd say, for me, if I had to pick a favorite character this episode, she was just so good. Instantly. Like, they were all very good, but just, like, yeah. She picked it right back up. And it's, like, funny because you would think, like, you know that this was filmed before that she won that Emmy, so, you know, you might think, oh, now she's going to really tune in and get it because she knows she has the Emmy, but she didn't know she was getting that, like, you know, going to be a winner of that Emmy.
Yeah, true.
So that just shows, like, how hard they all work to be so good on the show.
You know,
they're just very talented, this whole cast.
If they like the show that they're on and they, you know, it's a good working environment, I'm sure it's, you know.
Oh.
Welcome back,
The
computer.
laptop. All right, your next one. Go ahead.
All right, my next one is season 2 of The House of Hoes.
Is this one long?
Yeah, it's a little bit.
Okay, no. I was just asking. I was asking if that was your, like, longest one, if you were going to save that one for last.
No, I'd rather do this one now because it is long, but...
Did you finish the whole season?
Yes,
No?
I
Oh,
did.
wow, okay.
I ended
You
up
weren't sure
finishing...
last night.
No, I ended up finishing it this morning. 10 episodes. Everyone's comes back together. In case you didn't hear the last one,
You should go listen to it.
Yeah, you should go listen to it, but I'll give you a quick... It's about the Ho family. The mother and father came over from Vietnam and basically rose from nothing to being super wealthy. They have money just to spare. So it ended last season where Judy and Nate got engaged and the parents kind of were not happy, and they said that they put their engagement on hold for just so that he gets to know the family a little bit better, even though he's been friends with Judy for been friends with Judy's brother for like 20 years. That's how she met him. So he kind of knows the family, but like the parents, not so much. So it kind of starts the season with, I'm going to do like couple by couples because I think it'll be easier. Judy and Nate, they still had their engagement on hold, like I said.
I'm going to fall off my seat.
Oh, we'll pull it together then.
I'm trying to get it.
But,
I'm sorry.
Are you
I'm good.
Okay.
I'm hoping I won't fall off my seat when I sit back down.
I don't know why you would.
Oh
my
no.
God. Oh my.
No, I'm gonna fall.
What are you doing?
The butt pillow's falling with me.
I don't even know how to save you.
Save the butt pillow.
The disrespect for the House of Ho.
I'm so
not
sorry.
even
And
gonna...
they sound so interesting.
They are.
This is so rude of me. Okay.
They're just a bunch
Please,
of crazies.
please. You know, we're watching a lot of HBO Max shows.
Are you done?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm here.
So Judy and Nate, like I was telling you, Nate goes and asks the parents for permission, and the parents have, I have to say, I have a different take. Like last time, I thought the traditions and stuff were a little bit sexist and a little antiquated and outdated, but some of the stuff I do understand why they do them and like why they have all. Yeah, it's kind of like, it's just very old school stuff, and I don't think they mean to be like sexist or anything. I think it's a very big respect thing with them. Like, you're supposed to respect your elders, which like I believe in all that. You're supposed to respect your elders and all that kind of stuff. I always say that to you, like when you're the youngest person, you should call like your aunts and uncles instead of them having to call you, and vice versa, because you know it is a respect thing. Somehow I keep shutting down my notes. I don't know how I do that. But he goes and asks for permission, and the dad finally gives him permission. And to be honest, they had some really sad stuff this season that, like, I was just like, yes. I had to go and check because I was like, wait, what?
That's why you were asking me if my Abbott show was so sad, because you're about to bring in some sad news.
This stuff was like, I was like, wait a minute. The gentleman that she's marrying, Nate, the dad starts talking, and all the dad
Judy's dad?
Yeah, all the dad cares about, Ben Ho, is that you're going to take care of his grandkids and that you're going to love them like they're your own and you're going to treat them well. He's just concerned with his grandkids. So he said, I know you had, some very unfortunate things happen to you with your own children, that you lost your children. So I'm thinking, oh, I know he's divorced, so he lost his children in the divorce, like he doesn't have custody? No. His children, all 3 of them, I think ages like 8, 6, and 4, died in a house fire last year. And with their grandmother, it was when there was that really big storm in the winter. They're in Texas, and
that big
storm, and they were trying to keep the house warm with a fireplace, and it was like it was a fireplace fire that caused and they were asleep, and all 3 of them died, and the grandmother too. It was like tragic. So I don't even know how this guy's on the show right now, because like I don't even know how you go on from that. But like there's multiple times where you can see like they have to kind of stop, and like he's
Like let them reset.
Yeah, he's like, yeah, it's hard. You know, he said that, you know, that I think it's been like at least 2 years since that happened, but I was just like,
Wow.
whoa, like that was, and they didn't say what happened to the kids. They just said that they all died in a tragic accident. And I'm like, oh, what car? I gotta find. I had to look it up. So yeah, it was the snowstorm that happened in Texas a couple of years ago. It was, yeah, that was sad.
God.
Yeah, that was really, I was like, wow.
Not what I was expecting.
No, not at all. I was watching the show, and that was right at the beginning of the show, like of the season. It was like episode 1, and you're like, wow. So they show how he deals with the loss and things like that, and then him and Judy are talking about having their own baby, and because Nate says he can't imagine not being called dad ever again in his life. So he said, I'm not looking to replace my kids, but I just feel I have so much to offer that I don't, you know, want to not be a dad even. So they try to get pregnant.
They got married?
They didn't get married yet.
Oh.
So yeah, that she's just been bucking the system left and right. That dad should have had a heart attack by now with his traditions. So they were trying to get pregnant. They end up pregnant. They do like the in vitro and all, and that's pretty much what their storyline is this season, is them trying to get pregnant, have this baby.
That's a classic housewife storyline. Are you gonna have another baby?
And figure out how they're going to build their own family, and, you know, possibly, or they were talking about possibly moving to Europe, because Nate was saying that he needs kind of like, it's very hard for him to be in this, like in this town and everything, like, and I think he feels like he needs a fresh start somewhere else. So they were talking about like leaving and going to Europe, and she kind of wants to not be under her father's thumb, but that doesn't work out that way. The funny thing is that when you see the last season's episode, you see him start, and he's introduced in his practice as a doctor. This whole season, yeah, you don't see him as a doctor at all. So I don't know if he's still practicing, or he's not, or he's given it up to be on the House of Ho. I don't know what he's doing, but you don't see him doing that very often. So it's like very weird that I'm not even sure if he's practicing anymore.
Yeah, but I mean, he's not like the main part of the family, so maybe they just don't feel like they have to
he is like
show like his job.
Her character is very big, but it's just weird. Like I don't know. I just thought that was
but maybe
weird.
it's. I mean, technically, he's just like a spouse. So maybe they feel like they don't have to show the spouses what.
Yeah,
they do.
I guess, but you know, I mean, that's not very interesting. But you don't even like see her going there to like meet him for lunch or something,
like mentioning like, oh, he's at the office.
Yeah, nothing. Like you just like, there's no word of it at all. But maybe he does want to keep his practice out of it or something. That could be it too, that I was thinking. And maybe he doesn't want that associated at all.
Yeah, because you have to think about it. Like, people may try to, like, schedule an appointment
just
to like, hear the drum. Or,
just
like,
to see who
you don't want that.
True.
Hold on one second. I'm just going to scooch my seat up, and I don't want... Okay,
I'm
good. Okay, because I fell away when I was sitting.
You fell away? Oh, bye-bye.
Okay.
So then, of course, the next main character is Washington Ho and his wife, Leslie. That's the oldest son, and... last season he declared that he had a drinking problem, that he was trying to quit. The parents were not in favor of it, because again, drinking is very big in the Asian community, and that's just not like, it's unheard of. You don't drink or whatever. So apparently he's been sober the whole time, and his family was kind of behind him, and they were kind of understanding. He did have a major slip up on his, I think it's his 40th birthday, I think he was in Las Vegas or something like that, and he ended up, the dad gave him $25,000 to buy a new living room set, and instead he took it and he blew it. Yep, he bought things and everything like that. And so after that, like, his wife Leslie said, "This is it. Like, you either get help or I don't know what to tell you." And he agreed. He knew he needed help, so his dad drove him there, and his wife packed his bag, and his mother made him food, and he went to rehab. And ever since then, he's been sober. So that's good. He seems like he's, doing well with that.
On the right track.
He's been sober, and he's just one of those guys that's like searching for himself constantly. And I think it's because he's had too much freedom and money given to him by his father and all like that he just like doesn't know what he wants to do, because he never had to really,
because he's been able to do almost anything he wants to do.
And so now him and his wife Leslie make an agreement that he becomes a car salesman, because he was going to own a dealership. He doesn't want to work for anybody. That's just bottom line. This guy doesn't want to work for anybody because he's not meant to be that way. So he goes to do the car dealership, and they basically put him on like a suspension, or they write him up, because they said that he is...
Wait, he worked at the place?
At a car dealership, Land Rover. I looked on his TikTok to see like if he put anything up on it, and he did. He worked at Creek Island, something Land Rover in Texas or something, and he said they wrote them up because he was aloof and something else, and they said he walked around there like he was high and mighty and like he owned the joint, and that was just not a way to be a team player or something like that. He just realized he was miserable. He didn't know how to tell his wife, but he ended up quitting the dealership job, and they both want to have another baby, and she told him if he could sell 10 cars, she would agree to have another baby, because they only have 2 right now. And she's got Roosevelt and Lincoln. I got the names down. There's Truman and Kennedy, and McKinley is Judy's kids. So that was the president's names that they chose for the other kids. I know you were asking last time.
Yeah. Well, I'm
going to scooch up now because I feel like I just fell off.
Well, here's my question: did they say if they're having a third kid?
Yeah. No, they didn't say, but Judy named her kid after a president too.
Oh well, I was gonna say, did they come up with the third kid's name? Like, I'm wondering what they're gonna name this kid, like president wise.
They haven't discussed it.
I wonder if
Judy's options
think
were.
About that. Oh.
Judy's options were Grant. Oh my god!
I shouldn't have given you this. I threw a rope.
She picked Grant. By the way, that was the one she picked was Grant.
I just wonder if now they go in their mind and they're like, oh Grant, wait, we can't have any more kids because we ran out of presidents' names. Imagine
Grant Pierce, and I don't remember what the other one was. Well, obviously
because you got to save some presidents' names for if you want your kids to carry on the tradition of naming their kids a president. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, true. But there's a lot of them. There's a lot. And you can even hit the vice presidents if you wanted.
Oh, true. And by the time that their kids are probably like adults, how many more presidents will happen? Especially if it's all one. If the presidents end up being one term from now on, they could get a lot of presidents under their belt. Depends.
So in the meantime, while he's working doing this car dealership, before he quits, him and his wife invest in a property like a strip mall with the dad's backing. So she's going to be the property manager, and
wasn't she a pharmacist?
She is a pharmacist still.
Oh, she still is. Okay.
This freaking girl does everything. She is, like, to me, the main focus of the show. Like, she's in almost every scene because she's like trying to control Washington and help him and get him like on the straight and narrow, and like she wants somebody who's going to be stable. He's just not that person, and she's realizing that. But they end up investing in this strip mall, which is hopefully going to give them income, and that's how they're going to try to build their own thing. But he's still doing the car dealership at that time, and then he comes and tells them that he's going to quit. Meanwhile, she's doing that. She's doing a pharmacist. She's taking care of the kids, taking care of him, and like trying to take care of like
her
the
go.
whole. Yeah, she's crazy.
Oh my god.
Yeah, she's doing it all. But she's the main focus of the whole family, and I personally love her. I think she's great. She's like a great part of the show. Her family comes down, and they don't really like Washington because they know that he's like not focused, he's not responsible, he's like a big child. So like that becomes a big issue because he says she went away on a girls' trip that she planned, and while she was gone, he said, I feel so relaxed, I feel so calm, I feel so much like myself because her and her controllingness like wasn't there, and he felt like he could be himself, which was kind of sad because they really love each other, but I guess he feels like he can't be who he wants to be, like this wild like creative guy. Well, not even so much party, but like he wants to be creative, and he would start doing this music thing, and he created a song, King of the Hose, and it's like a rap song, and him and his son sing it. It's like hilarious. But he wants to make a music video for it, so now of course he wants to be a music producer. When you watch the show and you realize how many things he's done over the course. He's
like Trish from Austin and Ally. Remember how she would get a new job every week?
Yeah, well, that's what he's like. Like when you realize just in these 2 seasons how many jobs he's tried to do or things he's tried to do.
At least he keeps trying though. He could have gave up.
Well, yeah, that's what I was thinking. He could have gave up, So, yeah, and it kind of ends with like where her mom comes from, like I think she's like they don't live far, Oklahoma. I think that's where she was from. They come and visit, and it kind of makes them like both realize that like they're like she's one way, he's another way, and it kind of gives you the feeling that they're gonna potentially get divorced.
Oh my.
Yeah, it was really kind of sad. But they got that also in this season. They got smart. They introduced 2 new cousins. They had a cousin named Sammy that was his assistant last time, but since then she's kind of, because he got sober, the wife thought that was her fault that he was drinking because they would always go out and like play cards and do stuff but they said it was for business, and the wife felt that she didn't want him with her anymore because she was a problem. So they kind of drifted apart. And in the meantime, like, her mom died, I think, of cancer or something, and she was kind of all over the place and lost and, like, kind of dropped out of the family. So, like, that was a big thing. But the two new cousins that they introduced are Bella and Kim, and they're on the dad's side of the family. I think the one girl, Kim, is the dad's brother, and the other girl, it's her mom, I think, that is the dad's sister, because they do have a lot of siblings. Ben-Ho, the more, what do they call it? Matriarch? No, that's the mother. Patriarch of the family. These two have been living in California, and they finally moved back home. They're much younger. They're trying to find their way. So, like, Judy and Leslie take them under their wing, and they try to show them, like, how to get out there and, like, be in relationships. And they're interesting. They both have their own struggles. Like, Bella has her mom, who was divorced from the dad, and she just recently announced that she's gay all of a sudden. And then the other girl is, like, she's the oldest cousin out of all the cousins, so she has, like, the most, I guess, stress on her or something. I don't know. Mm-hmm. But HBO or the host, I don't know who to show, it was smart to introduce more family members.
Yeah.
Because it's
like a friend of, like a housewife.
Yeah, and it's good because they're still all connected. Like, even though, like, what they did was not only did they introduce them, but they introduced
their friends and family.
Nate's family. Judy's the one that she's married into, because his sister, Vanessa, she's on the show now with her husband, Carlton. Carlton is friends with both Nate and Washington. So they were all good friends growing up. So, like, they all know each other in a roundabout way. So he knows Vanessa and Leslie knows. So, like, Leslie becomes good friends with, like, better friends with Vanessa.
It lets you not have to watch the one whole family for a whole time. Like, you can diversify and see some different
it goes
people.
off to different things, but they're all still connected. Like, and then they also have Nate's other sister, Tammy, who another one just recently discovered that she was gay, and she gets this younger girlfriend, and, like, they give them, like, little storylines, but it's just enough to, like you said, like, not make you be like, oh my god, are we just going to spend the whole time with this one?
Like, you just watched a scene with Judy, and now you're watching
this. How many scenes can you watch with Judy
going
to the doctors? Like,
Harley, when you watch Housewives, you see Erica and so-and-so, and now you can see so-and-so and so-and-so.
They're smart, because what they did was, they're all family. They're all actually family or friends. Yeah. So, like, you know that, like, you definitely get the sense that when the cameras go down, they're still all getting together. Yeah. They're still all doing this stuff. It's not like the Housewives where you know the Housewives are only
now cameras in the room with them.
Yeah, you know that, like, because even the cameras went down, and they had just audio on one point, and you knew they were, like, still, this was how they were. They were exactly the same. Yeah. They didn't know they were being filmed. So it's like, you know, they're still getting together. You know, they're still going out places where that's the only thing that bothers me with the Housewives, is that you know that they only get
together.
There's
only like
a few of them that
like
are still
the odds
friendly.
That there's one and
a few of them are friends that do stuff. But the rest of them honestly only get together during the season and act like they're friends, and I hate that, because that's not,
like, sometimes there's Housewives in other franchises that are closer. Like, do you know, like, for example, Bethany Frankel and Kyle Richards, I think they're closer than, like, Kyle is with some of the other girls in her group.
Yeah, it's just weird though, because that's the only thing. But that's why I think this was good. So the end of the season ended with Judy and Nate having everybody come together for a party at this restaurant, and they ended up having a surprise elopement. So they get married at the end season, and everybody's happy. And then Washington and Leslie decide that they're going to stick it out and stay together, because they realize they've already invested so much time and energy in this, and they do love each other, and they have to find a way to compromise. So, of course, once again, everybody leaves on a happy note, and they show Judy and Nate having their baby. They have a baby boy, Grant. So it ends on a happy note regardless. But
you sound disappointed that it was happy.
No, I'm just disappointed that it's over, because I could watch them do almost anything. They were so crazy.
I did look it up. This show just finished airing on September 8th.
Yeah, no,
So you got to get out there and campaign for your third season of House of Ho.
I think it'll be back. I have faith in them. I don't see them going anywhere.
I know, you really... Honestly, they do sound interesting, that I probably would have watched them.
But you didn't.
I know. Well, I kept seeing them pop up when I would look at the other shows, and then you just jumped right on them, and I was like, all right, well, maybe if they get a third season, maybe I'll join in.
I thought it was something different. That's what I think it was that screwed me up.
But look at you now.
I didn't think that's what it was, so I don't know why.
Why did you just search restaurant?
No, I didn't. I don't know why it's doing this. I'm asking it to look up something, and see, it's like taking the word and then...
You gotta write it out faster. No, Flora restaurant?
It didn't used to do that. See, it's only accepting partial...
All right.
Go ahead.
I can't believe I'm kind of thrown by how many HBO Max shows. By the way, we kept HBO Max for this month. We decided to get another month of it. And look at us, we're really making use of it. I mean, Abbott Elementary, this first season's on HBO Max. This is on HBO Max.
Abbott Elementary is on HBO? Oh, yeah,
the first season. But when I watch it now, I'm watching it on Hulu. Because it's ABC, which a lot of people are saying, I saw people saying that Disney Plus should technically get the show because it's an ABC and Hulu, and that's Disney. But I hope so. I would enjoy it to be on Disney Plus as well. But what I was going to say was Abbott's technically HBO. That's HBO. The next show, my next two shows, all my shows are HBO. I have Kung Fu, and then I have Harley Quinn, like I said. So I'm going to do Kung Fu. Bear with me here because, like I said, I have not seen the last 19 minutes for the first episode. And I'm only going to do the first episode because I feel like watch it, see if I want to stick with it. I probably am. But so the reason I started this show was because I think... Hold on, let me look up the actress'
We were supposed
name.
to watch it together. But...
Yeah, but you weren't watching it, so...
No, that's not what happened.
You can join.
You stopped watching it.
Okay. I'm only on episode 1, so you can come back and jump in. Like, just catch up on episode 1, then we can watch it together. Mm-hmm. So I wanted to watch this because the actress who plays the main character, Olivia Lang, she was on Legacies, and she played Alyssa Chang. Do you remember... You got to the part with Alyssa Chang, or no?
I don't remember.
I
don't know who she is.
Her character was kind of small because I think they were like running the actress to see if people liked her for this show. Because you always, if you pay attention to not Netflix, CW, you'll see an actress on a show, and then you'll see like they get their whole own show. Pay attention, because you'll catch that a little bit if you're really watching. And I heard Ben Levin, who plays Jed on Legacies, is now going to be on this show. So I'm like, oh, I love them both on that show. So I'm like, let me watch this to get
Jed. I'm trying to think.
Jed. He was the wolf.
Oh,
Jed, no last name. They did end up giving him a name towards the most recent season, but that's how everybody referred to him. Always was Jed, no last name. But she plays the main character, Nikki Shen, and she lived for the last 3 years in a Shaolin monastery in Yunnan province, China. And she originally thought that her mom was sending her on a culture tour of China, but she was actually sending her on a matchmaking tour to find her a husband.
Oh God.
And she ends up running away, and she meets Pele, who runs.
You were gonna say Peleg.
No, who runs the monastery and becomes Nikki's mentor, or I think she called her Shafu. Shafu. That's what I think that means. I'm gonna assume that means mentor. But she teaches her to become one of the female warriors at this monastery that she's in. Don't you read my notes and read ahead, because that's always so rude.
I can't read anything. I'm not. I can't focus.
So, so she trains there to be one of the warriors, and the monastery ends up getting attacked and set on fire by. I want to say Zilin. It's kind of it sounded like they were saying Jillian, but Zillan.
Mm-hmm. That's what it looks like to me.
Yeah, right. I tried to write the pronunciation out next to it so I could help myself, so I can pronounce everything right. So she ends up taking this sword that's in the monastery, and she kills.
I just
cracked your.
Did you hear that?
No, but just all of a sudden, I saw your head was snapped backwards.
I just cracked my back. It was harsh.
Okay, she ends up taking this sword, and she kills Pele with it. And Nikki tries to fight her, and when she gets the sword, it burns her hand. And the girl says that you're really not you must not be worthy of this sword, kind of, or you can't handle the power of the sword. So she tries to find this lady, the killer, and she decides that she's gonna go back home to San Francisco after she can't find her after some time. Mm-hmm. So back when she's in San Francisco, she finds out. Hold on, I'm gonna cough. What a cough! That really just took me out. So Nikki finds out that her sister, Althena, right? I think that's Athena. No, but there's an L.
Oh, is there?
Althena.
Althena.
I think I'm going to Althena. Is going to get married to this guy named Dennis, and she also sees her younger brother, and he's upset to see her as well. And her mother's also upset because she just kind of ran away from home. So she tells her that her daughter died 3 years ago. She doesn't know who this is, but her dad's really happy to have her back home. And after she kind of fights with her mom, she goes and sees her ex Evan to try to get help finding the killer, and she finds out that he has a girlfriend now. I only mention it because I'm sure that's gonna probably like be important that he has like a girlfriend or something. And then on her way home from there, she ends up seeing her dad getting jumped by these people. She was supposed to meet him at a restaurant, then she sees him getting jumped instead. How horrible. And she takes him to the hospital, and then the whole family meets up there. And she goes to see her brother because she's trying to, like, you know, figure out what to do with everybody because everybody's kind of upset that she left. And she bumps into this guy named Harry, and I literally wrote down... Henry. You said you can't read my notes.
I'm reading along with you
Henry.
like you do.
No, I can't read your notes. You always have your back turned.
I meant like you do with the books.
Oh. And I wrote potential...
But I can see you sneaking around the side of me to try to see my notes.
I literally wrote down potential love interest because I'm assuming that's what they're setting it up for. Because they even had another character be like, oh, what a beautiful couple you guys are. And they're like, we're not a couple. It's obvious.
There you go. That's obvious.
Obvious. So while speaking to Ryan, he tells her that... What? Oh,
I said, ow.
Oh. He tells her that everything kind of fell apart when she left because she was like the star athlete and she was going to probably go to Harvard. So everybody's kind of mad that she just kind of, you know, left this perfect life. And he says that the reason that he's upset that she left is because that she left him alone there to tell his parents that he's gay. They do end up making up while playing ping pong, by the way. That's how they're playing ping pong, and it's always like one of those things where like when he like, can you stop? I just want to play ping pong, and she never wants to play ping pong with me.
She's so desperate to play ping pong that she tried to play it on the counter here on our peninsula, and then when that didn't work, she was just willing to use the floor.
I don't know. Ping pong is kind of fun. I want to play it, and nobody ever wants to play ping pong with me.
What's the ping and the pong?
Yeah. No, but you know how they go when they're always playing like some kind of sport, like they were hitting the ping pong, and as like the tension was building, you know, he slaps the ping pong really hard. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. I got it done to me the other day by you.
No. So then Nikki ends up... The hell did I wrote walks with Henry. I meant to write talks with Henry about the sword. And
Maybe she was walking.
And he says that the sword sounds like it belonged to Lang Dayu, and he says that it's a myth that she grabbed this sword when all the men in the village were out at war to protect them, and then from then on she trained the other women. And that's where I left off.
Oh.
So 19 minutes left. I will talk about those next week. Hopefully I'm going to try to finish the whole season for next week so I could give it like in full, but there's only 2 seasons, and then this comes back October 5th, I believe. So that's season 3. And then that will be like more of a weekly thing because I was not expecting... Listen, I still have 90 minutes left, and a lot kind of happened already in that show.
True.
But, you know, this is the first episode. They gotta, like, lay all the groundwork everywhere so that people get interested because it's a plot episode.
Your feet are not even close to the ground. What the hell's going on there?
I'm not. My legs aren't even bent. Look, they're straight up. This is where my kneecap is.
Oh, you got the...
yeah, I'm, like, sit back
lengthwise. I was like, what is going on?
My feet can't touch the ground on this seat.
That's what I was going to say. Like, what
Some seats, they can't reach the ground, all right? But come on. You don't have to be like that.
5'3".
Tell us about your other show. Now that you've sat here and accused my short feet.
Okay, I don't know what I accuse them of except not touching
being
the ground.
Short.
Okay, so my last show, which I think is the best, is I just had a good feeling about it. The end is nigh. Bill Nye has a show.
Everybody loved Bill Nye. Bill Nye had a show. They would always show.
It was kind of multiple shows.
Class.
He's got multiple shows.
Boo.
But this is a really good one. I encourage teachers and parents
to show it.
To watch it with your
kids.
kids.
Get the Peacock subscription quick because the $1.99 is going to go away for a whole year, you guys. Come on. It's not an ad.
It's like the best way that I could ever see like these things to be explained.
The commercial looked fun.
No, it's definitely a fun show for sure. He wanted to do something. I just wanted to watch something different. I wanted not just to watch a show. I kind of wanted to learn something while I was being entertained, and this was definitely the show that accomplished that for sure. So Bill Nye and Seth MacFarlane, and
why do I know that name? But I don't know
Seth
that
MacFarlane he's on a couple of shows, but he's on the Orville.
Let me look up.
It's like a space. You do know Seth MacFarlane. He's been.
I've heard that name, but I don't know their face.
He's been on things. And Brandon Braga, who worked on Star Trek for years.
I don't know. I've seen this. I don't know.
Yeah, and he's worked with Seth MacFarlane on, like I said, the Orville they contacted Bill Nye with this concept. So Braga is the showrunner and the director and writes along with Bill Nye. They have vetted all of the information with the top scientists in their field. Like, nothing is just like speculation. It's all vetted, and all factual information. They have a VFX supervisor, Jeff Ocon, I don't know.
I can't see.
Okun.
Oh, I don't know. I got nothing on that one.
No,
I don't know why I'm asking. I can never pronounce it.
I looked him up, and he was just like, he did a lot of special effects for shows like this kind of. So I think they picked the right person.
Like
for
more
sure.
of like a scientific, like
yeah. He's done a lot. He's done a lot of National Geographic storm chasing
on,
and things like that. What?
Those guys that used to be on, they always used to do the science project. There was the two dudes. One guy had glasses.
I don't.
I'll look it up. Let me see if I can come up with it.
But anyway,
Science
so
shows.
he's achieving special effects that are just pretty amazing. I'm not gonna lie. They're so realistic and so on the money. It's yeah. So Bill Nye starts each show by introducing the disastrous event, and then he heads into the Disaster Institute, a place where he shows you how the disaster occurs. I don't think it's a real place. It's definitely a soundstage, but it's like really cool because he has like all the disasters that they're going to cover in the 6 series.
Oh, these guys,
events.
Mythbusters.
Oh,
I
the
thought this was
Mythbusters.
the same guy that hosts Cutthroat Kitchen and Iron Chef. Does it?
No. No. But
Whoopsie.
I think what makes it fun is that he's very blunt about what's happening, and he'll say exactly like what's going on. But he starts the show off after he explains what's going to happen. There's like an escalator, and he rides up this escalator into this big ball, and he calls it the disaster simulator. And when you go into the disaster simulator, you get to see the event from 3 different points of view. So he goes, he kind of starts by going back in time, and he shows you how like cavemen dealt with these events, and he participates in the event, and they show him actually dying in the event, and then they show like obviously, you know, what these 3 people, how they could have died or how, and then they kind of come back and they show you what you could do, what could have been done differently to make a different outcome. Because he said he wanted the show to have a positive spin, and he wanted people to learn like what they could do instead of just like
What will happen.
Yeah, what will happen. So he, the first episode, they were investigating storms, especially a hydrostorm. So it was from the point of view of
Like a hurricane?
Yeah.
Well, good. Let's see if you can save us.
Like a tornado, but it was a hydrostorm, they consider it. So it was from the point of view of cafe shop owner, a scientist, and a scientist, or I guess they were like a storm analyst, and a traveler on a plane. So he's on the plane with the traveler. He's hilarious because he'll be like, yeah, these pilots think they can fly above the storm, and they can. However, they can only fly for so long without fuel, and then we will touch down on ground somewhere. Like, the way he says this stuff is like so freaking hilarious. Yeah, it's so blunt and so hilarious that it's like, you're like, did he just actually say that? So he shows how scientists can predict these, and every time he shows how the scientists can predict it, and he shows how the government and other people, news and stuff, do not want to talk about it because they don't want to cause alarm. But if they had talked about it earlier, they could have had a lot more people saved. And he also does like he follows a certain format, and then throughout the storm he does this thing called the active cow, which Seth MacFarlane is always the active cow. So the active cow describes it references a cow that kicked over a lantern in Chicago in 1871, which ended up burning the city of Chicago to the ground. So like
This is real?
That's a real thing, yeah. So he calls this the active cow. Like when the scientists go to them and say, "Listen, you have 5 storms that are circling around these areas, and if you don't evacuate now, these people will all be dead." And like they show you, like the cafe owner stays in the cafe trying to hold her ground, you know, and like it's really interesting how they do it. And then the second, I only watched 3 episodes, and I saved the other 3 for this week. The second episode
Next week.
The second episode is about volcanoes erupting, and volcano
Well, we're not
night.
really near any volcanoes, so we should be
No.
safe.
But it's from the point of view of a bride-to-be, a traveler on vacation on the vacation from hell, and a scientist. It's always the scientist. Is kind of always the third one. I am noticing that pattern.
Well, because it's like, let's see if the person who knows about it's going to do the right thing. I
Yeah.
guess.
Well, they try to, but they never are allowed. But and so the scientist is always the one that sees like the warning signs that no one like cares to talk about. So the volcano in question that they're talking about is Old Faithful, which is a geyser that usually just blows smoke up every like so many minutes. I forget how many. It's 46, 75, 45, something like that. It's a tourist attraction in Yellowstone Park. So he said,
Oh, the geysers?
The Old Faithful, the geyser, yeah.
Oh.
There's that specific one. So that's the one that's apparently in his simulation going to blow this time. So the scientists always seem to know when these eruptions are going to happen, and they always recommend an evacuation, and nobody listens. So that was the second episode, and he walked you through the whole thing of like what you could have done differently, and like I don't realize.
I think number one is not go there.
No, but the thing is, like, I don't realize all the things that happen in a volcano, like when a volcano erupts. You just think of like, oh, lava shoots down, da-da. But apparently it's not even that so much. It's like the ash is what like killed a lot of people.
Yeah, because it gets in your lungs.
Well, yeah, they were buried under it. Like, no lie. Like, there was so much ash that was produced from this one volcano, Mount St. Helen, that like they were buried under it. Like, it was just insane.
I bet the shaking too when it erupts could cause like a little earthquake.
It could have. He didn't really say anything, but like,
well,
it could,
I
I'm
don't
sure.
know, but or like at least like a foundation of a house to kind of like rumble if it was close enough.
I mean, it was very interesting. But the
just throwing
last
scientific
the last
point of view
episode
out.
that they did was about a blackout from a solar shockwave that was headed towards
What the hell
Earth.
does that mean?
It's like a solar flare that comes down from there and causes a blackout. So it was from the point of view of an astronaut that was trapped out in orbit without contact to Earth,
Ooh.
her father who lost power in the dark and was in the dark, and a scientist, of course, who sees the doom in the sunlight. He keeps meeting up with the same guy that's the traveler from hell, and on the plane with him. He met him again like on the streets, and it's funny like how he like, hey, didn't I see you on the plane, and weren't you in the water that time when all the fish were dying? Like, it's just funny how he does it. Like, there's a lot of humor in it, so it keeps you entertained for sure. But I will definitely continue with the next 3 episodes because I'm so interested in how like I mean I
bet I'll get a second season because sadly there are a lot of disastrous options you can run through.
But it's just really interesting how he breaks it down, like because in the end he comes back to the Hall of Disaster as he calls it, and he shows you like he showed like what really causes a tornado like in this like huge tube and like how it happens and stuff. So it's like very interesting. And like on that third one he showed you how like if a power line is down, like you either want to be in a car because like that's the best place to be for like electrical, anything that's
Tires.
Like, well, no, it's the metal of the car that grounds you, because he put himself in a cage, like a wire cage, and when it was electrical hit it, like he was protected because the cage shielded from the electric. And he also said like if you're on the ground and there's a down power wire and there's like water, like you should not pick your feet up because the minute you pick your feet up, you'll be electrocuted. Because it's going to generate like some kind of conduct. It was like very interesting, like where the stuff he explained to you was so simple, but like stuff I just didn't really know, which I'm ashamed I didn't know, but
because they always teach you about damn photosynthesis in school.
No, but I recommend.
Tell me not to pick my feet up.
I totally recommend it for parents and stuff like that to like watch with your kids because it's entertaining for sure. It's definitely entertaining. I can't wait to see the other 3. But I was like, no, I'm not going to pressure myself. I knew I had other things to watch. So I'm like, I'm going to break it up and I'll save those for next week.
Alrighty. Are we ready for this Harley Quinn?
Not really.
It's just quite a bit. But I'm gonna speed run this, okay? Here we go.
Let me get comfortable.
I'm gonna go. Okay, get comfortable. No, the chair doesn't like when you do that.
I'm sorry.
All right, are you gonna read
along?
along?
To have a little give. No, I'm just facing you into
Close your eyes. You'll fall asleep. All right.
Like, it may be midday, but there's always time for a
Here
nap.
we go. I'm not recapping what happened last season. Either you remember or you're going to go back and listen because I'm not doing that because it's going to take too long.
Back and listen.
All right. President declares that Gotham is no longer part of the United States. Harley gets her iconic hyenas, Bud and Lou, obviously, and she thinks...
Where did she get them from?
She just gets her hyenas.
She just went to the hyena store?
I don't know. I don't remember.
Found them on the street?
Okay, I technically watched this. I started this last Sunday, so this is old to me. I'm on season 3. I'm done with season 3 now. So
those hyenas disappeared. That's all we need to know.
Yep. She tells goons that they should stand up for themselves, and in response, Bane, Riddler, Two-Face, Penguin, and Mr. Freeze has now joined, make the Injustice League, and they invite Harley to join, but they give her the worst territory, and she denies, so Mr. Freeze freezes her in a block of ice, and then after 2 months, her crew, which I'll just mention this, it's Poison Ivy, King Shark, Clayface, Dr. Psycho. They finally break her out of the ice that they had her on display in the Penguin's Iceberg Lounge. And once free, she kills Penguin, and we find out that Batman is also alive.
So wait, Penguin's gone already?
Dead. Boom. Gone. Next. Harley decides that she's going to need to take out the Riddler next because he's the only one that has power in Gotham. So Harley and Ivy dress up as humans. Clayface joins them. He transforms into Stephanie, and they invade Riddler's college, Riddler U. At Riddler U, they meet Barbara Gordon, who discovers that they are, in fact, Harley and Ivy when Harley's makeup falls off. And they end up following Barbara so that she won't snitch on them. And they find out that her dad, Jim Gordon, is now living with her. Jim is a total mess in the show, I'll just say that. Holy hell, he's not like any of the Jims you've ever seen.
Really?
And like the other ones. He's absolutely insane.
I'm sorry, my blanket's totally...
Oh!
I'm sorry, everything's going to hell.
Wait, you kicked the mic and you pushed my leg out.
I know, I'm sorry, everything's going down. My blanket was falling. You know, hand with blankets on the floor.
And sit.
I'm going in. Hold on, book. Hold on.
We really need an official set.
We really do.
All right, we'll work on that.
Yeah.
Okay. So Harley and Ivy break into a frat party and they see that the Riddler is powering his school by having students run on a hamster wheel. Barbara dresses up as the Batgirl.
So there's no students actually learning anything because they're busy on a... So what's he
And-
powering a school for if there's no kids?
For himself. And then Batgirl saves them from the Riddler. Harley takes Riddler and decides that
Sometimes, honestly, these things make no sense.
What
Not you. Just
what they're
the
doing.
shows.
It's just so crazy.
Because why would you have a university that you have kids powering but nobody's learning?
Well, I guess they have them learn something. They didn't really get into what they're learning.
They
but
take turns.
He really just has them to power his little town. Harley takes Riddler, has him run on a hamster wheel so that they can power their hideout. And she decides that Mr. Freeze should be her next target. She tries to melt ice into this, he put an ice wall around his territory. Can't get in, and the goons that are guarding it end up revealing that Firefly's flamethrower is the only thing that can melt it. So Harley decides that she's going to need to steal it from Dr. Trap. He sets traps, obviously. Harley and Ivy fail their first attempt to get it. They decide to get Catwoman to help. And while doing this, she also tries to convince Ivy that she should break up with her boyfriend, Kite Man. Ivy and Kite Man dated in season 1. I didn't mention this because I didn't think it was going to be important. I thought the relationship was going to end. That's on my bad, but now it's important. Then they try again with Catwoman, and Kite Man decides, he drops him off, and he decides that he's not going to leave because he's going to help and try to steal a ring so he can propose to Ivy. Catwoman opens the case for the flamethrower. Harley, Ivy, and Kite Man, they all end up getting trapped in this case. They break free. Catwoman steals the ring from him, so now he no longer has the ring to propose.
I feel like this is Harley Quinn speed talking.
It is. It's a speed run. There's a lot that happens. Later that night, so also there, Kite Man tries to propose to her. Apparently this is the second time. I forgot he proposed in season 1. Like I said, I didn't think this was going to last, this relationship. He proposed to her a third time, and she begs him. She says, if you propose a third time, I will say yes this time. So that's what happens, and she says yes. Harley burns her way into Mr. Freeze's place, but he ends up capturing her and her crew, and he decides that it's finally time to test the cure that he made to save his wife, Nora, and he's going to test it on Harley because obviously Clayface is made out of clay, King Shark's a shark, and I think Dr. Psycho's there, but he's a man, so he wants to test it on a woman, and Harley's the only option. And she stalls by saying that Ivy
what does his wife have? Do we know?
A rare blood disease or something like that. I can't remember exactly. She stalls by saying Ivy can do this because Ivy's a biochemist. What are you doing, sissy?
She's cute.
Oh. Like I'm in a Harley speed run over here. While waiting for Ivy, Mr. Freeze makes a group and he brings out his wife who's frozen in a full-on ice block. Harley ends up unfreezing everybody, and she unfreezes the wife because she doesn't believe that the wife actually has a disease. She just thinks that he's keeping her. And once Ivy arrives, she makes a serum for Nora, but the only way the serum will work is if she turns Mr. Freeze's blood into the wife's blood, so that they can switch their blood around. He ends up dying. He's dead now.
Mr. Freeze too?
He's gone. Out.
How's she gonna out of the fight if she keeps killing them all?
You'll see. So then we get a whole episode dedicated to Batman coming out of his coma, and seeing him struggle with not being able to be Batman right now, and he accepts that Barbara is going to be Batgirl, the new protector of Gotham. This episode was really because they had like a whole like joke in the beginning where they were like, people are complaining that this is Harley, something like Harley centric, like, you know, just like trolls online. It's Harley Quinn. What do you mean, you fools? Then in the next episode, when they go back to the Harley storyline, Harley and Ivy go to a bar and they realize that the Joker is still alive, but he's not Joker anymore. He's like a new normal citizen. He has a girlfriend who has kids and no memory of being the Joker. By the way, his girlfriend's played by Justina Machado, only in this one episode that she's in.
This is a cartoon, no?
Yeah. She voices it. I could just tell. I heard her voice. I'm like, that's her. And I looked up. I think I looked it up. I'm assuming it's her. It sounded just like her. If it's not, it's a really good dupe for her.
False information.
Ivy tells Harley that truly nobody can change at their core, and we get a flashback to Harley as Harleen convincing Ivy to not hate all humans, and she uses this to prove to Ivy that people can truly change. And then when they leave the bar, they get captured by Two-Face, and they get sent into Bane's prison, which is a pit for the murder of Penguin. And then they try to escape, and Harley's going to sacrifice herself so Ivy can get out. But Ivy comes back and saves her, and once out of the pit, they both kiss. Now this is where it all gets confusing here. So bear with me here. While trying to deal with the feelings of kissing Ivy, Harley decides that she's going to speak with Darkshed and get parademons so that she can truly rule Gotham.
Wait, I'm sorry. Dark Shed?
Dark Side.
I'm like, Dark Shed?
I'm going so fast.
Explain that one, because it's like Kite Man. Dark Shed? Is he a shed? Does he live in a shed?
Dark Side. The guy from
Okay.
Zack Snyder's Justice League. No, you don't remember them.
No.
4 Hours of Hell, and she doesn't remember a single thing. But she speaks with him to get parademons, like, so she can rule over all of Gotham. And then she talks with Ivy and ends up dropping her plans and turns Gotham over to Gordon, and Dr. Psycho is upset that she gave up on her plan, so he leaves the crew. Thank God, he's annoying. I didn't write that down. I just thought, what is this? Harley decides that she's going to take Ivy, Catwoman, Nora Freeze, and Ivy's childhood friend Jennifer on a bachelorette party to the Mascara, because it's now become a tourist destination as Wonder Woman has been captured in a book. That happened last season. I think I said that the Justice League went to a Phantom Zone. I thought that, but I was wrong. They actually got captured in a book. So the Justice League's inside a book. Just keep that in mind here. I messed up. Harley reveals that she's actually there to help break free Queen Hippolyta because she's under a spell by Lex Luthor so that they can sell the mascara and make it like a tourist attraction and all this stuff. While on the trip, Harley and Ivy end up hooking up with each other twice, and Harley confesses to Ivy that she's in love with her, and Ivy tells her that she trusts her, but she doesn't trust her with her heart, and that she's still gonna marry Kite Man. And then Harley ends up going to a bar, and now Joker is working at this bar. I have to call him the Joker because I don't think they gave him like a real name. Like, they didn't give him like a new person. Like, you know what I mean? Like a real name, I guess. I don't know what name he went by because he acts like a normal guy, but maybe they said it, I missed it. There ends up being a hostage situation, and she has to get handcuffed to him when she tries to escape, and they sneak out, and Harley realizes that he knows where the book is that has, you know, Wonder Woman and the rest of the Justice League in it. And they need this book to stop because now Dr. Psycho has decided to take over the parademons. And the only way to get the book is to make him back into the Joker again so that he gets his Joker memories back because the Joker knows where the book is. So she pushes him in the vat of acid, and they actually work together, and they get the book back, and they take down they take down some of the parademons. And he tells her that if she really loves Ivy, she should try, because he's going to decide to stick it out with his girlfriend that he has and take care of the kids. That's the whole, but that's really season 3. I'm going to get into that. Not this week, next week, because you see it's already a lot.
Sure is.
A lot really happened, and I didn't think this much happened until I went to go back and write about it. So Harley decides that she's
How
going to
many episodes?
This one had 13. But they're like 20 minutes. But a lot really happened. So Harley goes to meet up with Ivy, but Ivy's under mind control of Dr. Psycho, and she wants to kill her. And they eventually end up breaking her free by Harley kissing her and sneaking an anti-mind control device in her ear. And Dr. Psycho's upset that they freed Ivy, so he projects them kissing into the Gotham sky for everybody to see. Harley then ends up in Arkham and finds out that Gordon is going to use Ivy's wedding to catch as many villains as possible. So she breaks out to try
She's
to...
still getting married, even though...
Yeah.
Didn't Kite Man see the kiss in the
Yeah.
sky?
Yeah.
Okay.
You'll see that. So she tries to tell Ivy that this is going to happen at her wedding, and Ivy doesn't believe her and tells her, don't ruin my wedding. And Gordon ends up gassing everybody in the, wedding ceremony.
Oh my god.
And except for Harley. Harley knocks a police officer out and steals their mask and drags Kite Man and Ivy out and says that she'll marry them because she's ordained. And Kite Man rejects because Ivy looked really freaked out when he said his vows, and he also should have realized when he had to propose to her 3 times. So Ivy tells Harley that she's the person she really wants to be with, and then they drive off into the sunset as the cops chase them. And that all happened in season 2. Season 3, I think, is going to be a little bit more tamed and easier to explain.
Oh my.
But I do want to talk about the comics because it's interesting, because they've really made it like these comics tie in, but I don't think they do. But they were so good. Okay, so I'll get into that next week because, as you can see, that was a lot. So I'm glad I didn't waste my time doing season 3 notes.
Yeah, that would, yeah.
I'm, exhausted.
That was like...
I need to go take a nap.
I would say so. That was like speed chatter.
That is all I watched this week. I did watch season 3, like I said, but I'm now gonna stick it out for Kung Fu. So what are we watching next week? Do you know off the top of your head? All right, go. Riddle yours off, and then I'll go because I need to catch my breath.
Yeah, you think?
God.
The last 3 episodes of The End Is Nigh. Dancing with the Stars will be coming out. I will
1 and
be
2.
Yep, 1 and 2ing.
1 and 2.
1 and 2.
She's doing a cha-cha.
It's like
1 and 2.
Yeah,
1 and 2.
Yeah, I'll be doing that, and I'm going to try Dollface. Gonna try
Finish it.
Finish it. I have to really start it. I only did one episode.
That doesn't say much.
Finish it.
I thought you maybe got 3, 4.
No, if there's a Southern Charm, I'll get on that one. Of course, My Days of Our Lives. Once again, I said last week people were coming back from the dead. They did. However, now there are people that have a mysterious illness from a drug that was inflicted upon them when they were kidnapped. Come on. Who could not want to see this stuff? I'm just saying.
How's it going on Peacock? Good, right? This is week 1 / a week of it being on there.
I personally love it. 6 a.m. I go to work. I'm putting my schedules together, and my friends in the background from Days of Our Lives are playing.
If you shouldn't admit that, but it's fine.
No,
Everybody does it.
No, it's fine. They're
just get your work done. So that's all that matters.
Yeah, no, I'm printing out, doing emails, and they're just chatting in the back.
Yeah.
Well,
otherwise, she'd go be lonely and go crazy at her job if nobody was there talking to her.
At that hour, yeah.
All right, what do you got?
What was the other one? Oh, I'm gonna try the Real Girlfriends of Paris again. I'm gonna try.
No House of Ho.
Because there's no House of Ho. Oh no.
Whoa.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm gonna try to bring them back out, and
that's a lot already.
That is a lot, but there was something else I thought.
But a lot of them are weekly-based shows, though, so you finish them quickly.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Jesus Christ, she almost fell off the ottoman again. Oh my God, help me first.
Oh my God, they give me a hot flash.
Thank God I'm a religious woman, and I pray to God for her. For those of you that don't, just pray to whatever you believe, please.
Make your 11 wish.
Yeah.
For me. That's what you like. Crystals, anything. Anything will work.
Mediterranean, no. Below Deck.
Yeah, you were saying that. I was falling.
That's as you were falling. Yeah. That one's
She's like, we gotta finish this so she can just get off this damn seat.
I don't think.
Could that be it, milady?
It might be. Oh, I might try to squeeze in, but I don't know if I'm gonna speak on it. Love is Blind. I didn't get to do the after the altar. Yeah.
Okay, is that it?
That would be probably plenty.
All right. Well, I'm gonna try to finish Kung Fu.
Don't say it.
Abbott Elementary.
She skipped right over Breaking Bad, my friends.
And, well, I'm going to talk about Harley Quinn Season 3, but I've already seen it, so that's what I'll talk about next week. But, listen, if I finish Kung Fu, there's 2 seasons. It's a lot. I think it's a couple hours to finish. If I finish it, maybe I'll watch episode 1 of Breaking Bad. Maybe. Don't hold me to it. I don't know yet. But I think Kung Fu's already quite a bit because it is a lot. They're like 40 minutes each, and there's 2 seasons. And you know the CW show's got a lot of episodes. Also, this is the last week of the month, or no? Next week?
Next week. We have another week. Wait.
No, I don't think we do.
Yeah, no, this is my last. Yeah.
This is the last week of the month?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, on September 30th, then next Friday, we're going to watch the Best Friends episodes, the top 10 Best Friends episodes. That's already up on our Instagram if you want to see that. So we'll probably watch those this week because we haven't done our job and we haven't watched those yet. Even though you're supposed to be watching them through the whole month. Oh my
gosh. She almost went down again.
Our duo watches, on Friday, we're going to post She-Hulk episode 7 and Andor episode 4. Last week's episodes are already up, obviously. And Housewives episode 20. And also, I put Lego Masters episode 2. We haven't even watched the first one yet.
Oh, it's up now?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought I saw something on episode it, but like 2. I remember you said it was like on a big time hold or something.
Yeah, there was something weird that happened. But we're not going to cover that show because competition shows are hard to cover. So we're not. But we'll probably watch it. Oh, and that show Reboot. I think the first 4 came out. So
really?
5's already probably out. I don't think there's any other new shows coming out for me. I think that's pretty much it. You know what? I think Breaking Bad is going to be my running gag. I'm never going to truly watch it, but I'll just keep saying I'm going to watch it.
Yeah.
I think as of now, if I were to say, what do I have more of a chance watching, Breaking Bad or Riverdale? Riverdale.
Oh, and Riverdale's had a rough week. Let's just say that. I don't even want to comment on it, but
they've
had some rough news.
Yeah. I thought you were talking about the show because that show just seems a little wild.
With their cast.
Yeah. I think that's pretty much it. That's all I have.
Yeah,
that's all I can think of. All right. Well, we hope you enjoyed this one. That was a little bit long, but I really tried to speed run that Harley Quinn to my best of my ability, you guys. We'll do better next week.
And the hoes are a lot. Let's just be honest.
Well, you know what? We are covering a whole season. We're still working on how we can cover it the best for you guys. So if you have any opinions or advice, go ahead and leave that in. Well, I'll approve a 4.5 star rating for that because you're telling us how we can improve. So we're not perfect. But if you want to give us a 5, that's totally fine too. Nothing below a 4.5 though, please. And give us a like on Instagram. There's no like on Instagram. You can like us on Instagram, but I meant to say like on YouTube because there's no in between there. So just don't give a thumbs down. Just give a like on YouTube. Or if you're not really sure, then just comment and say, I'm the in between.
You don't really understand you people. I will say most don't.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I will say though.
Come again.
I think I just want to throw this in there. 2 things I want to throw in there. I just remember our Housewives episode for episode 19. When I edit them, so I was listening to it. I thought it was
really
so
wish
funny.
we could have milkshakes.
What?
I really do. But I don't, that that stupid ice cream I bought has the lid. I don't know if there was anything really wrong with it.
I don't know. Let me look at it, okay?
Well, it's like on the.
I'll look at it. We
still
still have the chocolate one from last time. You could just make a small one for yourself. This is really not where I was going with this. I was gonna say the episode 19 of our Housewives one was so funny to me. I think there's so. It's so funny.
Didn't we have milkshakes after last time? It's like I'm like a child. Week? I've resorted more to a child than I've ever this past week.
Which we're gonna get into that part. That was my next piece of advice. But that one I think is so funny to the point where we have a clip. We always put our clips up on our Instagram, but I have a second clip that I'm gonna share on our Instagram story because I thought it was so funny.
Okay.
I really thought it was so funny. You're gonna have to post it though because I don't have enough space on my phone for the clip. Second thing I wanted to point out, I'm officially in my watching all of the Star Wars content possible. That's what we're doing because we're starting with
what?
Yes, I haven't mentioned this here, but I've been.
Apparently, she hasn't mentioned it to me either.
I said I want to read all the Star Wars books and
read. You said watch.
Well, I read, watch, and all of it. All Star Wars content I'm prepared to consume, and it started today, right before we were going to do this podcast. I'm reading the Light of the Jedi, and I'm reading it to you. But yeah, so how you were saying a kid, we tried to read it last night, and I started.
You know where that went.
I barely got through the main. I didn't even get through the first sentence. I reread it this morning to her. She goes, I don't remember a single thing. I'm asking her, I said, who's
Nothing.
the captain? She's naming her bosses.
Shout out to my boss. I think you're the captain.
So she named 2 different people too.
Very confidently too.
Oh no, you did, definitely. And that was not right at all. So yeah, I just wanted to let you guys know. So once I probably finish like Kung Fu and all that and the books, just know that there's going to be parts where I'm like binging Star Wars shows for a while. So if you want that content, I'll be providing very soon.
So you mean when you're done reading this book, you're gonna?
So I go on to the next book.
Okay, but what I'm saying is when you get to one of the movies that is in
the order, in the timeline.
You'll jump in with a movie.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
So it's kind of like, so right now there's different eras in Star Wars. So I'm in the High Republic. This is like the peak of the Jedis. So.
Hi.
Oh, he's
Are you
waking
a Jedi?
up. Yeah, he definitely said yeah. So this is kind of like the Head of Jedi. This only has like comic books and books. There's no like visual content for this. But then obviously once you get into like,
which means you have to be a big girl and read.
Darth Vader era, there are books. There's comic books and obviously the movies and shows. So I'm gonna add the shows in where they fit. That's my plan. So yeah, I'll come and report the shows to you guys and to you, so you know what's going on, or you can watch it with me. Because I mean, you're reading the books now. Well, you're listening. I'm like an audiobook, but I'm slow.
I have my own
stutter.
I have my own personal audio.
Can't pronounce anything.
No, that's okay.
I'm working on it. I'm learning how to read, everybody. 22 and I'm learning how to read.
What was that? What was that thing? The more you know, like.
No, it's the more you know. It was just that.
No, it was something else. It was like something. The more you know. I don't know.
Something, the more you read, the more you know. Okay?
The more you read, the better you'll get.
Just read. So yeah, we did say.
I was that freak in school that liked to read out loud, so.
Yeah, and she can't read the book out loud because I have to read, otherwise I'm not going to pay attention.
Because she doesn't have that kind of comprehension.
Yep. So I have to read aloud. All right, we should get going.
You should really understand all of our reading sensibilities now.
They're like, I want to see this girl get through this 300-page book.
Oh, it's a thick one.
377 pages, mine.
Oh my
god. The audiobook?
You better hit the button and start reading now.
The audiobook?
I kicked the mic again. Sorry.
The audiobook says it's 14 hours to read. So far we're on a solid, almost going on 24 hours of just trying to start the damn book. All right. Good review, please. Give us a like.
Don't say 4 stars and 5.
No, I already did that. Follow us on Instagram. We watch it all. We've been posting questions there, so go ahead and question. Let us know if you'd go conga with Kathy Hilton.
I'd be afraid not to.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'd want to be in the front or the back of that conga, though. I think maybe the back, so I could jump off without her knowing.
Yeah, let her lead.
Don't get in front of her.
Yeah. Well, I think she's the type that she'd want to lead the conga line. All right, this should have been in our Real Housewives. That's it. Give us 5 stars. Follow us on Instagram. I think that's it. All right, let's go make baby a milkshake. Say it.
Hit the button. Milkshake. Yay! Oh. I want a milkshake.